Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 530 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for staying with us and joining us after the game. I'm David J. Jay and Janelle have the night off. One man suffered life-threatening injuries in an early morning stabbing. Billings police say a man was found in the 600 block of North 25th Street with multiple stab wounds. He was transported to Billings Clinic for treatment, and as of news time, there's no update to his condition. A person of interest has been detained, but police say there is no threat to public safety. Developing at this hour, a trailer fire in Lockwood is sending smoke across the Billings area. The engulfed single-wide trailer was reported shortly after 4 o'clock this afternoon. Crews responded to Colson Road, but the fire was at 3945 Springdale Road. The owner arrived on scene and told Q2 it was no longer livable and had been vacant for 2 months. Again, this is developing, and we'll bring you the latest updates on air and online. The re-election battle of Democratic U.S. Senator Jon Tester is Montana's top electoral race for 2018 and will easily be the most expensive. A year out, Tester already has raised more than $8 million in campaign funds. MTN chief political reporter Mike Dennison tells us more about where all that money is coming from.
Through September, Senator Jon Tester had raised nearly $8 million for his re-election campaign and says 13,300 donations have come from Montanans. But when you look at the dollar totals, the vast majority has come from outside the state. Tester has received at least 81% of his funds from non-residents or out-of-state political action committees, $6.3 million in total. And the actual out-of-state percentage is certainly higher. About $800,000 of his total take came from small donations whose geographic source doesn't have to be listed. A good chunk of that money is likely from Montana, but any of those non-itemized donations from out of state will add to the 81% of donations we know are from outside Montana. Through September, just $663,000 of Tester's money had come from identified Montana donors, only 8.5% of his total funds. Californians contributed more, about $708,000, and so did New Yorkers at $813,000. The senator also has received about $2.4 million from political action committees or PACs, nearly one-third of his total funds raised. Tester's campaign notes that $12 million was spent by outside groups attacking him in his 2012 campaign and says he'll need the resources to fight back against a similar expected onslaught this next year. Tester says he'll be telling his own story to counter the false story his opponents will paint.
We know what they're going to do. They're going to try to make me into something I'm not and then run against that person. They tried to do that in 2006. They tried to do that in 2012. The truth is we've got to deal with the truth, and if we deal with the truth, I'm going to be just fine.
Also, when you look at Tester's potential Republican opponents in the Senate race, some are getting plenty of money from sources other than Montanans. Nearly two-thirds of State Auditor Matt Rosendale's $434,000 has come from outside the state, and Big Sky businessman Troy Downing has received, at most, only 4.5% of his $492,000 from Montanans. 70% of Downing's funds are from his own pocket. 60% of the $168,000 raised by State Senator Al Olszewski is from his own pocket as well. But he has raised at least $43,000 from Montanans, or one-fourth of his total. And Republican Russ Fagg? He hasn't revealed his funding sources at all because he used an exploratory committee to raise money before becoming a candidate last month. The former state district judge from Billings says he'll list his donors and spending when he files a campaign report in January. Let's face it. Montana's U.S. Senate contest is essentially a national race, attracting national attention. That means a pile of money will be spent here, and most of that money will come from outside Montana. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
And from politics to skiing, for some people, they traded their mountains of food for the real thing today. Big Sky Resort opened its season. People turned out in full force hours ahead of opening to take advantage of a start to the season. The addition of the covered carpet lifts made the below freezing temps a little more bearable. Big Sky reports it's starting the season with a 21-inch mid-mountain base depth and 32-inch upper mountain base depth. Even more snow is possible tonight. And we go from those freezing temperatures in the mountains to warmer around here. Bob's in it from the Weather Center.
I'm shushing from one side to the other. Oh, yeah, Red Lodge, they open tomorrow. Bridger Bowl opens tomorrow. I think they open like for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Red Lodge, they'll be open. It's going to be great news. But we're going to talk about record highs. Today, this is what it was. These were our records around Montana when we started today. Now take a look at this. These were our reported highs for the day. And everywhere you see a little red star, That's where we have a new record high. Over there in Dillon, that just changed. That was 63. They got up to 64 degrees, so that's a new record high as well. So just about everywhere in the state, we have new record highs. It'd be easier to say where we don't, Cut Bank and Missoula. But look at Billings, 71 degrees today. The old record was 65, and we're looking for a little cool down tonight and a chance of rain. We'll chat about that coming up in a few more minutes.
Okay, thank you, Bob. U.S. troops stationed overseas are getting a taste of home with a traditional Thanksgiving dinner at military bases. Ben Lewis has a story from London.
Just 60 miles from the North Korean border, US troops enjoyed the most American of meals. Thanksgiving dinner gave them a rare chance to relax in a region under constant nuclear threat.
I do have family back at home. I have a wife and 2 beautiful daughters. I miss them very much, but I'm here now and making the best of it while I can.
With more than 28,000 US troops stationed in South Korea, kitchens had to be run with military precision.
We stayed up late last night cooking about 60 turkeys, and we've served probably over 1,000 soldiers and families so far.
In a video conference, President Trump spoke with military members overseas.
I know I speak on behalf of all Americans when I say that we totally support you. In fact, we love you. We really do.
More than 200,000 US servicemen and women are deployed across the world right now. From Qatar.
And I just wanted to wish all my friends and family back in Birmingham, Alabama, a very happy Thanksgiving.
To Japan.
I would like to wish all the Marines and sailors across the world a happy Thanksgiving.
To Puerto Rico.
Happy Thanksgiving!
And when you're far from friends and family, a little home-style comfort food can make a world of difference. Ben Lewis, CBS News.
The military sent nearly 100,000 pounds of turkey to U.S. troops based around the world. And more than 3.5 million people line the streets of Manhattan to watch the 91st annual Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade. Security was tight for the massive parade, which featured 1,100 cheerleaders, 1,000 clowns, 12 marching bands, and of course the iconic balloons for which the parade is famous. Santa Claus also made an appearance to ring in the holiday season. And this Thanksgiving marks the 7th annual run for the Turkey Run. Turkey Run, that is. More than 2,500 people participated. The run proceeds go to 4 local charities combating hunger in our area. Meals on Wheels, which delivers hot meals to homebound seniors. Family Service Incorporated, which helps to feed families in need. And the Billings Backpack Program, which provides nutritious meals for children to be fed over the weekends. All benefit from the run. New this year, the MSUB Yellow Jacket Emergency Pantry will also be a recipient of the proceeds, helping university students maintain nutrition and hygiene. Costumes are welcomed, and following the race, the runners are provided with hot chocolate. If they are of age, they can get some beer from some of the local Billings breweries, and a collectible pint glass. Elder Grove School was present as well, selling kettle corn to help fund its 8th grade trip to Washington, D.C. An annual tradition in downtown Billings brings a celebration with the holiday parade. That's tomorrow night. The magic of Christmas and the holidays will come alive with the 33rd annual holiday parade. This year's theme, Elves of Santa's Workshop. About 100 floats, including a Q2 entry, will line up at North 27th Street and 3rd Avenue North on Friday night, and will follow that traditional city parade route. The fun starts at 7 o'clock.